Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, September 21st. I'm Patricia Valone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, a 72-year-old man is recovering after a brutal attack close to a shopping center in the Colmar Manor. Today, police were in the area talking with people, hoping for information that can help them catch the suspect. Denise Douglas has the story.
The elderly man was waiting at this bus stop here on Bladensburg Road when the assault happened. Police say that the suspect, believed to be in his 30s, about 170 pounds, walked up to the man and attacked him with a bat. The 72-year-old victim was simply waiting to catch a bus when a bat-wielding man came up and demanded his wallet.
When the gentleman didn't comply, the suspect began to beat him with an aluminum baseball bat. Ended up causing some severe head trauma and breaking his arm.
The vicious attack has even this seasoned lieutenant concerned.
I've been on the department for 17 years now, and I mean, this just disgusts me. I mean, this is just terrible. I've seen few things that are this horrible.
So today, officers are back out in the Colmar Manor area talking to people.
And if you see someone who looks like that, please call for help.
And handing out flyers in hopes of getting information that can help them track down the suspect. Here you see a sketch of the man.
This is my first time hearing about this incident here.
Anthony Randolph shops regularly at this grocery store and says he's shocked to hear what happened.
I'm very concerned, not only in Maryland, but D.C. also seem like the violent crimes have been going up lately, and I'm very concerned about it. I don't know what they need to do about it, though.
Police have stepped up patrols here since the assault. As for the victim, he is recovering thanks to a Good Samaritan who saw the attack, yelled, and scared the suspect away. So here's the picture again. Take a very close look at it. Police describe the man as either Dominican, possibly black Hispanic, with shoulder-length curly hair. He was last seen wearing a black jacket, a white t-shirt, and carrying an aluminum baseball bat. If you know anything about the crime or about this man, call Crime Solvers, 866-411-TIPS. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And once again, the number to the anonymous Crime Solvers hotline is 1-866-411-TIPS. Well, yesterday we told you about a couple that was sent to the hospital after their roof collapsed in their apartment while they were sleeping. Jose Diaz and Vanessa Ortega both suffered injuries, he a sprained arm and she a giant bruise on the leg.
Estábamos durmiendo a la 1 de la madrugada.
At around 1 o'clock in the morning, we were sleeping. We all of a sudden heard this loud noise when everything came falling down.
Cuando yo vi lacrado, yo marqué los apartamentos.
When I saw that everything was cracked and stained, I, 2.5 months ago, called the office. They just brought someone in to basically fill in the cracks just so it wasn't visible anymore. But they didn't actually fix the situation.
The roof was quickly repaired after the collapse, but the couple says a report was filed about problems 2.5 months ago.
This is the second case that we've had with a roof falling in on tenants just in the past 2 weeks. The property management that's represented by the Larimar Group has been consistently negligent in the face of even the most disastrous living conditions. And beyond the living conditions, people are literally paying to live in crumbling apartments.
Now, the site is located at the Bedford Station Apartments. It's one of several complexes that CTV News has been following for more than a year. Residents there have been living in deplorable conditions, including insect and rat infestation, mold and mildew, and collapsing floors and roofs. Well, federal housing officials try to recoup nearly $2.4 million linked to the corruption scandal during the Jack Johnson administration. An audit by HUD's Regional Inspector General says the previous administration provided federal funds to at least 2 ineligible nonprofit groups and then failed to track their progress. One of those sites is located on Peerless Avenue in Upper Marlboro. Funds to rehabilitate the site were paid to Mirza Beg, the Laurel doctor, who is now serving an 18-month sentence for bribery. Current Housing Director Eric Brown says the county government is in negotiations to recoup some of those funds.
What we're doing is working with the HUD office in Washington to try to resolve some of those issues and move forward. A number of those involve us. They said, well, we may have to pay back some money to HUD. what we are working to do is to do everything we can to try to make sure that the money doesn't come from the county's coffers. Specifically, we are working in one case with a nonprofit where the money was used to purchase land. We're working with them to reacquire the land, and then we'll sell it and then pay the program back.
Now, Brown discussed the issue during a developers roundtable luncheon today. He says today's event is all about transparency.
One of the issues in the past had to do with that there was not a real sense of predictability, and developers, when they're doing stuff, they want to know that they can predict certain things. We wanted to make sure that we were transparent so that if you file an application, you'll know at the end of the day what's going to happen to it. You'll know the process that you have to go through. And so this was a great opportunity for us to be able to do that.
And former County Executive Jack Johnson and his wife Leslie are both currently serving time in separate federal prisons. Well, she grew up in a different century, full of old world charm, kind and witty. That's how many describe Nancy Tufts. She died on September 16th at the age of 102. Today, the Fort Washington resident was laid to rest at St. John's Episcopal Church. She lived in the county for more than 70 years. One of her relatives shared her wedding photo with us. The family invited members of the Prince George's Police Department to serve as pallbearers. Tufts developed a special relationship with some of the detectives after a rash of robberies in her neighborhood.
We're not just here as police officers, we're here as part of the community. Anybody who knew Miss Nancy Tufts immediately were intrigued with her, and we're better people by knowing her.
What do you remember the most about your Aunt Nancy, and what are you going to miss about her?
Oh, she loved ice cream. I did too. That was the big thing. I came back from overseas, she introduced us to butter brickle. She spent a lot of her life traveling around. Lived actually in the Philippines, in England. Family was stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Fort Ontario, New York, Aberdeen Proving Grounds. So she spent her childhood on the run.
When Tufts' husband died in the 1950s, they did not have any children. Well, you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.